anyone who isn't here, this is going to be quick. It's only a couple minutes. If you haven't already, make sure you grab one of each of those sheets. They are directions for our summer assignment. Yes, I am sorry we do have a summer assignment, but I promise you it's not that bad. This year it is a little bit different, but it will help us get through the content of the class. And we actually have a current AP Bio student, so if you want to ask some questions afterwards, Carly was in my period 3 class, and she did a great job this year. So if you want to talk to her about what to expect, you can as well. All right, so again, this is the pre-summer meeting for AP Biology. My name is Mr. Friedhoff, if you don't know who I am. I'm just going to talk about a couple of things about the class, a couple of things that I will remind you probably the first couple of days of the school year. But my grading system is a little bit different than other teachers. 25% of your grade is going to be participation. This is anything like labs, projects, classwork, homework. The other 75% of your grade is the assessment. These are like tests. I rarely give quizzes. Once in a while, I'll form a lab report, but tests are the major way that I assess your knowledge. In my opinion, and the research also backs my opinion, your grade should show you should show people how much you know of a subject, not how much homework you can turn in. If you can turn in homework really well, but you don't know anything about biology, your grade shouldn't be that high, right? This is kind of new for students. Let me show you what I mean by this. Let's say out of one quarter, you have 10,000 participation points. You won't have that much, but I just threw it out there. You have 10,000 participation points. You get all 10,000. You did everything. You turned in your homework. You turned in your labs. You turned in everything. It's great. Then for your test, out of all the points, you got 100 out of 200 points. You think, hey, that's a lot of points for participation. I'm going to get like an A99, right? You get all of the participation points because you got 100%, but you only get half of the 75%. This is called a weighted grade. Okay. The reason I do this, and you can see what that score looks like at the end. I rarely have a student ever get this low. Usually we have good grades when you guys are good students. But the reason why I do this is I try to mirror an AP class or a college level class. I want my class to prepare you for college. I wake up in the middle of the night with a deep sweat thinking, oh my gosh, I have a nightmare of when you guys go to college and not being prepared for the classes. Classes in college, as you know, are a lot more difficult, especially the science ones. And my job is to prepare you. Okay, one of the slides that's going to be upcoming, it's going to say, I want you to struggle in here. I don't know how I'm going to make you struggle, but I want you to struggle. That's my job. That's what I get paid to do. On the paycheck, it says making students struggle. No, it doesn't say that. But my job as an AP teacher is to make you struggle and prepare you for college. College is not going to be easy. Okay, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll see what I mean when you go to college and you breeze through it. I have a lot of my students that are tutors now in college. They're doing really well. That's what I want. That's my ultimate goal for you, is to prepare you for college. Okay? So that's my grading system and how my grades are a little bit different. You'll get used to it pretty quickly. Class, we usually lecture, maybe not for 40%, and maybe Carly can talk. I don't know. This is what I view as class as. 40% as a lecture, 30% activities. I like to do a lot of review activities. If you look over there, all of those black bins are full of little organizers or just like classroom activities that will take 5 or 10 minutes to do. If you've had me before, I know I've had a couple here. I have 1, 2, 3. I've had a couple students. You can probably ask them. I like to do a lot of little activities, just kind of get your brain to thinking about the content. So we like to do those. I like to do a lot of labs. I'm doing some labs through CHS, which I'll get to here in a little bit. But I do like to do labs at least every lab period, every double period. And then 10% assessment. I really only gave, I think, 7 major tests this year. Carly, is that right? 6 or 7? I think 6. Yeah, there's not a lot of tests, but there's a lot of content on those tests. So there's not like a test every week, and there's not a quiz every week. There's probably 1 or 2 tests, I think, per quarter. So it's not a lot of tests, but the tests do go over a lot of information, and they are college level tests. This is just a reminder, this is not college prep biology. I absolutely love college prep biology, regular 9th and 10th grade biology. This goes over the same content. As you can see, this is all the content that my biology classes go over. We go over that just a lot more in depth. Does that make sense? So it's the same content, just a lot more detail. All right. So expect to talk about mitosis, expect to talk about genetics and ecology, but we're going over the why these things happen and how they relate to other parts of biology. So again, my goal is to make you struggle. Now, the reason why you might struggle is because there is a lot more content now, like I said, in depth, but in the breadth of knowledge. You should read and try to take the section of notes before class. That's what I like to tell students. You don't have to, but I think it really helps students because they get to just listen to the lecture. You're going to have to learn how you study and how you learn in this class. Okay, there's a lot of outside kind of learning and memorizing and just learning the content that you have to do. I'll show you different ways throughout the class to study and to learn this content, but you got to really figure out how you study most effectively. For me, it was whiteboards. Where are my whiteboards at? It's whiteboards. I like writing down things. You might not, connect with that, but there are other ways that I'll teach you, but you really have to learn how to study in this class. There is math. Oh, I know it's the M word. Do not worry. We try to tackle the math the first kind of week. It's actually part of your summer assignment this year. I will never test you on the math. It's good stuff, right? You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll never test you on the math. The AP test will test you on some of the math, but I guarantee you after the first week, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. It's really not that bad. Okay, Carly, I'm looking the other way. Is it really that bad? No. Okay, good. It's really not that bad, but I will never test you on it. It's basically looking at minor statistics of data. So just understand that's what we're going over the kind of the first week or two of class. Assessments are about 20 to 30 multiple choice questions that are AP style. I usually steal them from like an AP test or some college level test. And there's usually 1 or 2 FRQs, which means a free response question, which I'll ask you a question. You just have to write down your answer. For the test, I have adopted a system of test corrections where whatever you score on that test, let's say you missed 30 points of the test, you can do test corrections where you write down why you got the question wrong and what the correct answer is, and you get half your points back. So let's say you got a 60% on the first test and you totally bombed. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail this class. If you do the test corrections, you get 20 bonus points, so you pull that grade back up to an 80. Does that make sense? So I do that for all of my tests. I've never not done it. I think this year, every single test, I give you guys test corrections on. Thank you, Carly's like my assistant today. All right, so first summer assignment is an easy one. Letter of introduction. The guidelines are on the sheet. Due August 18th. That's just because I don't know a lot of you. I know some of you, but not all of you. Email me your letters. I took the names out of these so you can't see. This is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a paragraph of information. I'm looking for a couple paragraphs. I want to get to know you a little bit. Okay, I want to learn something about what you do in the summers, maybe what you do. Maybe you're an athlete, whatever. I want to learn a little about you before you come to my class, because that first day, we're not doing icebreakers. We're jumping into content. Okay, this is like a college level class. No offense, but your college professors won't really get to know you like that. They'll just say, hey, we're going to start learning. Take out your notebooks. All right, so that's due on August 18th. Second summer assignments. You got to learn Unit 0 and Unit 1. I'm doing this a little bit differently this year. This year, I'm kind of separating the first unit up a little bit. It's the same content, just a little bit organized, a little bit differently. I will be posting everything you need for this on Google Classroom. All the chapter notes, anything from the textbook, just anything that you need to study for this content, I'll post on Google Classroom. This content is very basic content. It's like, hey, this is the scientific method. Hey, this is biology. Hey, it's the stuff you go over in the first couple weeks of any science class. Do you guys remember that kind of? It's chemistry. You guys all took chemistry, right? It's all the chemistry stuff. It's very basic chemistry stuff. So it's a review of what we learned the past couple years. This information is not new. It won't be like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. You'll recognize a lot of it, okay? But yeah, that's going to be the first day of class. I'm just going to have you guys take notes. I will have a test. It probably will be the second week of class, but I will be uploading stuff for this in the next couple of days to weeks. My third assignment, this is new for me this year. This is a statistics review of what we're going to be going over the first week. It's one of those packets. If you take a look at that packet, there's going to be some statistics. And yes, I said that correctly. Statistics. Hello, it's over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's all right. Again, more current AP Bio students, if you want to ask them what class is like.
Oh, maybe don't.
So this packet is based on some stuff we're going to be learning the first week. This is statistics. What I will do is I'm actually going to screen record a video of how to get through this statistics math. It may seem a little bit daunting at first. This stuff right here is the stuff I will never test you on. Okay? I will take you through this. Probably beginning of August, I will post the answer key for this. Anything where I give you something like this, I will always post the answer key, and I'll post something to help you through this. Okay, so you can check your work. If you have questions, I can help you out with this. This is just to get you a taste of like, hey, this is what I'm going to be expecting in this class. All right, it's again seems a little bit daunting at first, but once you dabble in it, you're like, okay, this isn't that bad, and I'm not going to get tested on it, so it's not really going to be that crucial for me to memorize it right off the bat. All right. Between those 3 assignments, I have one more thing to add. Failure. Actually, 2 more things. Failure to complete these, you just don't dismissal from the class. You have to complete these things. But here's the caveat. I do not want you working on these 3 assignments until August. I know it sounds crazy. You need to rest and relax this summer. Okay. So if I get an email during June or July about these summer assignments, I'm going to go crazy. You should be relaxing. You should be sleeping in. You should be hanging out with friends. You should not be doing schoolwork June and July. Because also, if you do it in the beginning of June, 2 months later, when you come back and you have to learn this stuff again, you're like, oh, I forget all how to do this. Wait until, I don't want to see a single email from you guys until August 1st, okay? Let your brains relax. You had a lot of stress this year. You had a lot of stress during finals. Junior, I think you're sophomores and juniors. This is a stressful time for you in your life. You had a lot of stress. Please sleep in and relax. Don't worry about my assignments until August, okay? There is a classroom where you can either post questions or just email me directly. I think I added everyone. Did everyone get the addition there? I will be dividing that class up once school starts into, I think we'll have 2 classes here. But that's where I'll be posting just kind of reminders or just anything that you need for this class. Does anyone have any questions before I show you what I'm doing this summer? Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to restate this. This class is difficult. Do not sign up for this class if you think this is like a blow-off class, like, oh, I'm going to get an easy A. There's a lot of work. I always say I think AP Bio is somewhere around like I think AP Chemistry is harder. I think AP Physics is harder. AP Calc is probably harder, but that's probably it. In my opinion, I don't know, you can ask the current AP Bio students, this is a difficult class. Do not take this class if you're planning just to be on your cell phone the whole time. If you're planning on just like you're skipping class every other day, like, I'll figure it out. You're going to fall behind. You're never going to catch up. Okay, so don't take this class. This is a kind of like, oh, my friends are taking it, but I just want to take it as well. It's a fun class. Believe me, I love this class. Ask Carla. I love teaching this class, but only take it if you're really invested. I'll show you what I'm doing this summer. Tomorrow night, I'm leaving for Arizona. I go on paleo trips. I go out like I'm an amateur paleontologist. This is me out in Montana. I was looking for microfossils here. This is actually the frill of a Triceratops I was carrying back to our campsite. So during the summers, I like to go out and actually do science. I'm not just like, I don't want to say I do nothing in the summers. I do science in the summers. And I'll be going out to Arizona tomorrow, and I'll be going to Montana in July. So stay tuned on if you follow me on TikTok or my Google Classroom, I'll be posting about what I do. Do you guys have any last questions? If you don't, you can send me an email. Have a good summer. You guys can go back to your rooms.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Make sure you grab one of those sheets.
Thank you, Mr. Prado.
Thank you.